Hey y'all, I was thinking about buying a RailDriver to play some train games that I have, but I noticed that they're a bit expensive and the reviews are kind of lacking on them, saying that their build quality isn't the best or the throttle handles are kind of small, so I didn't want to buy one. Instead I built my own. It's based on an Arduino Leonardo. It's going through my computer just with Arduino code, and the throttle and brake handles, they're just potentiometers, the mapping outputs to the controls in the game. Got the throttle. Notches are based on magnets. It's not the best feeling ever, but it gets the job done regardless. And then the reverse lever doesn't work yet because the game I use this for doesn't really have a function for it, but it's there for when I eventually will need it. The buttons over here, just cherry MX brown switches. You got horn, bell, sand toggle, and then doors and buzzer because these are functions in the game that I need, but wasn't really sure how else to implement it. Another neat feature is that the brake handle, it maxes out at a point and then it goes into emergency after that. So it's really simple construction because the game that I made it for, RailSim Universe, is a really basic game in theory. It's just a throttle and a brake, and no independent brake, no dynamic brake, nothing like that. So that made the build pretty easy. I don't really play any more complicated train games like Train Simulator, whatever they make it nowadays, because it's just not something I enjoy too much. So I built a simple controller for a simple game, and I thought it was pretty cool. Taking a look inside the controller, you can see it's really simple. Just a couple 3D printed parts holding up potentiometers, a couple 3D printed parts holding up the keyboard switches, 3D printed keycaps to make them more close to the size of an actual train control. It's all just wired up to a couple breadboards and the Arduino in the back. That's really all this is. It's incredibly simple. The mechanical side of it isn't really well designed, but it gets its job done well enough for me. I might improve it on future iterations, but that won't be anytime soon. I really do need to cable manage it at some point, but just for now it's a proof of concept and it does work. So here's the controller in game, just hooked up to my computer. Got the doors, they all work. Brake handle works as intended, throttles and the 8 notches as intended. Horn works and everything. Bell toggle works. The sand is either momentary, like such, or you can, like on the real locomotive, you can toggle the sand on or off with these two buttons here. Just a couple things to note while I'm on my way to my next station. The construction's all 3D printed, and it's not really secure or anything because I haven't glued it all together. It's still a work in progress, of course. And on the note of the game itself, it's a really cool game actually on Roblox. It's called RailSim Universe. Very well made. It's only in pre-release and it's one of my favorite games ever. It's just the Tri-Rail commuter corridor from Miami to West Palm Beach. It's very well made, very fun. I would check it out if I were you. It's still paid, but it's definitely worth it. I mean, it was worth it enough for me to dump a bunch of time and money into a controller like this. So that's pretty cool. Just a note on how all the electronics work. All the Arduino does is it sends back information on the positions of the switches and potentiometers, and the code translates that into keyboard presses to put the input into the game. Also, another note is I put holes in the construction so I could add the light switches if I wanted to for the headlights and all that, but I haven't gotten around to it because it's just not something I use too much in game. Here we are coming up to a station stop just to demonstrate how this all works. Turn the throttle off, get the brake on a little bit.
This station stop is Hollywood. Please gather your belongings and watch your step.
Hit the door button, let the passengers on the train. It's a pretty terrible station stop, but I'm not really good at playing and recording at the same time, so don't worry about that. Leaving the station, you just turn the brake off. Throttle forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard a train to West Palm Beach. Our next station stop is Fort Lauderdale.
So as you can see, it does its job. It controls the train in a simple game in a simple way. So if you're interested in any of the 3D files or the parts that I used to create this, if for whatever reason you wanted to make your own, just leave a comment. I'll get back to you hopefully as fast as I can. It's not the best controller ever built, but it does its job, and I think it's pretty cool for something that I created, and I have no experience in 3D modeling or electronics design. So, that's about it. Thanks for watching.